Good morning, students. Next part of the microprocessor. Okay. So memory and instruction fetch. So how an instruction is fetched into from the memory, that information is transferred to the ALU for performing a task. Okay. The primary function of memory is to store instruction and data, to provide that information to MPU whenever the MPU requests it. Okay. So the memory is used to store the data as well as the instruction. These data and the instructions are required by the microprocessor whenever it requires. So how an instruction or data is fetched from the memory? Let us see one example here. The instruction 4F, okay, that is the binary value 0 1 0 0 and F is a section, that's 1 1 1 1. Okay. So we take this as in hexadecimal. So how this 4F is transferred to the ALU to perform the operation. Okay. Now the first step is the program counter places the 16-bit address 2005. So this is the next address of the instruction to be executed by the program counter. On the address bus. Okay. Therefore, this is the first step. Then now we want to read this instruction. Therefore, what happened? The control unit uses a control signal. So memory read. They generate the control signal, memory read. This is the step 2. Then in step 3, when this signal is low, what happened? The content of this, that is the 4F, which is transmitted on the data bus to the internal bus. Okay, the data is now transmitted when this signal is low, issued by the control logic. Now the data is transmitted. Then step 4, this is the step 3. Okay, data transmission is here, step 3. Then step 4, what happened? The instruction is received by the instruction decoder and decode it and execute according to the instruction. Okay, if it is the arithmetic calculations, what happened? The instruction decoder send the data to the ALU. Okay, so this is the memory and the instruction fetch. Okay, so how a memory or instruction is fetched by the MPU unit. Okay, here there are 4 steps. In the first step, the program counter places the 16-bit address 2005 of the memory location on the address bus. Assume that we want to access the location 2005. In the step 2, the control unit send a memory read control signal to enable the output buffer of memory chip. Okay. So enable the output buffer of the memory chip. And then the third step, the instruction 4F stored in the memory location 2005 is placed on the data bus and transferred to the instruction decoder. Okay, transfer to the instruction decoder. Then next, the decoder is decoded and executed according to the binary pattern of the instruction. Okay, suppose what is the instruction? Depending upon the instruction, it send it to ALU. So this is the memory and the instruction fetch. So like that, all the instructions are fetched by the MPU. Okay, these are the 4 steps. Then next, memory classification. So memory means it is a place where the data is processed or stored. Okay. Now computer memory can be mainly classified into 2 types. One is a primary memory and another one is a secondary memory. Again, the primary memory can be divided into 2 types. That is the random access memory or read-write memory. Then read-only memory, ROM. Then again, the random access memory is divided into 2 kinds, SRAM and DRAM, static RAM, dynamic RAM. Similarly, the ROM, read-only memory, can be classified into PROM, programmable read-only memory, then EPROM, erasable program read-only memory, then EEPROM, electrically erasable program read-only memory. Similarly, you know very well about the secondary memory. The secondary memory uses the magnetic tape, floppy disk, then compact disk, DVD, and then hard disk, then SSD, a new kind of technology. Okay, solid state drive. So very fast memory. So present computer or laptops using this kind of memory. Okay. Now let me see one by one. So the primary memory or physical memory. Okay. So this can be divided into 2 types. One is a RAM and ROM. Let me see first RAM. SRAM or static RAM. This memory is made up of flip-flops. You know what is a flip-flop? And it stores the bit as a voltage. Here, each memory cell requires 6 transistors. Therefore, the memory chip has low density but high speed. This memory is more expensive compared than other memory. And it consumes more power than the dynamic memory. Okay. So it has very expensive and also that consumes more power than other memory, the DRAM. The SRAM is also called the cache memory, which is included on processor chip. Then next one is a DDR, so dynamic RAM. So here various kind of DDRs are there, DDR 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay. Now this memory is made up of MOS transistor gates and store the bit as a charge. The advantage of this kind of memories are It has high density and low power consumption and is cheaper than the static memory. Okay, so low power consumption and also that less cost than SRAM. So the advantage of the charge leaks, therefore store information need to be read and written again every few seconds. So this is called the refreshing the memory, and it requires extra circuit adding to the cost of the system. So normally 4 GB, 8 GB computer uses the RAM is a DDR RAM. Computer also uses SRAM depending upon the configuration of the computer. Okay. Then second one is a ROM. So ROM is a non-volatile. That means when the power has gone, the content is not lost. Whereas here, when the power has gone, the content will be lost. So it retains the information even if the power turned off. And this memory is used for the program, small programs, okay, and data that need not to be altered. That means once the instructions or data are stored in the ROM, we cannot alter it. It is stored permanently. Now, let me see various kinds of ROM. So, PROM, programmable read-only memory. This memory has polysilicon wire arranged in a matrix. These matrices can be functionally viewed as a diodes or fuses. This memory can be programmed by the user with a special PROM programmer that selectively burns the fuses according to the bit pattern to be stored. The process is known as burning the PROM, and the information stored is permanent. Okay. So this memory also cannot be altered. So information is stored permanent by burning the PROM. Then next one is a EPROM, erasable program read-only memory. Okay. So erasable means we can alter the content. In PROM we cannot be alter the content, whereas in the EPROM we can alter the content. Okay. This memory store bit by charging the floating gates of the FET. The information is stored by using PROM programmer, which applies high voltage to charge the gates. So all the informations can be erased by exposing the chip to ultraviolet light, and the chip can be reprogrammed. By using the ultraviolet ray, we can erase the content, and then the chip can again reprogrammed. Because the chip can be reused many times, this memory is suited for product development, experimental project, and college libraries. The disadvantage of EPROMs are it must take out the circuit to erase it. So we have to remove that, and then using the ultraviolet rays we can erase, and then again we want to fix it in the system. The entire chip must be erased. We cannot alter the some part. Once we want to reprogram means we have to erase the entire chip. And then another disadvantage is erasing process takes minutes. Okay, maybe 15 minutes or 30 minutes, depending upon the size of the EEPROM. Then next kind of memory is a EEPROM, electrically erasable read-only memory. This is the variation of the EEPROM that becomes popular because the major difference between the this memory is used to erase the content by using not ultraviolet, here electrical. Okay. That is, this memory is functionally similar to EEPROM, except that the information can be altered by using electrical signals at the register level rather than erasing all the information. Okay. So we can alter only the particular information. We need not erase the entire chip as in the EEPROM. And then you know very well about the secondary memory. Okay. The magnetic tape and the floppy disks are not available now. Previously, the magnetic tape is used for storing the data as a backup. Okay, so this is the backup devices. Just like a CD, we used the floppy disk. The disk size may be 1.2 or 1.44 MB. Then you know what is a compact disk, CD and the DVDs. Okay. Then hard disk. Present day, the capacity of the hard disk is in terabytes. Then another kind of memory is a SSD. That is this memory is very fast compared than all other memory, and it's very costly compared than the hard disk and other memories. Now, let me see what are the differences between the RAM and ROM. Okay. So RAM is a volatile. That means when the power has gone, the content will be lost. The ROM, it is a non-volatile. That means permanent one, even the power lost. Then it is read-write memory. That is, we can read and alter frequently. The ROM is a read-only memory. We cannot alter the content. So it loses the data stored when the power is turned off. So that is the volatile. Okay. The data inside is retained even if the power of the CPU is switched off. Okay. So non-volatile. So the RAM is a temporary storage. The ROM is a permanent storage. So it is costlier than ROM. It is cheaper because of the size and it can hold a large amount of data. So the programs, everything we can store here. It can store small amount of data. Only the small programs can store. So it is very fast, it is slower. The data in the RAM can be easily modified, whereas it cannot be modified. It is used in the normal operation of the computer. It is used primarily in the startup process of a computer. For example, the booting process, the boot program is stored in the ROM. So these are the difference between RAM and ROM. Then the difference between DDR and static RAM, dynamic RAM and static RAM. So constructed capacitors, DRAM. It constructed D flip-flops using the flip-flops. So it is very costly. Requires a charge every few milliseconds to maintain its data. Okay. Here, hold it content as long as the power is available. So it is inexpensive. It is very expensive. This is slow. This one is a fast. So we can store many bits per chip. Here, cannot store many bits per chip. This uses less power, and this uses more power. It generates less heat. It generates more heat. This is used for main memory. This is used for cache memory.